everyone. Once Bitten here with a battle report. So, I don't know if you know this or not, but Mittierim, who has a YouTube channel that does a lot of Warhammer stuff, actually only lives about an hour and a half away from me. And I saw that he posted saying that he was selling his armies and getting out of the hobby completely, which absolutely breaks my heart. I really liked what his channel contributed to the overall community. So I contacted him and asked him if invited myself over to his place to if we could have one final game together, and he said sure. So I brought my Beastmen, and he wanted to play as Lizardmen because he had only recently finished painting them and wanted to play with them before he packed them in a box. So yeah, this is 8th edition rules. Once Bitten versus Mittierim. We've only played once before. It was in a tournament. I ended up winning pretty big, but it's actually a really close game that things just kind of swung my way at the end. This is very much a fun game. Just when I say a fun game, very much a casual game, kind of a beer and pretzels game, but a lot of fun. So let's go through the list. Starting on his right, he's got 2 units of skinks with the blowpipes. He's got some heavy cavalry behind him, and in there he's got a character. This is one of those guys that's got a 1-up armor save, and then I think he has a ward save, and then a great weapon. So he kills stuff. He's hard to kill. He makes that unit really formidable. Then he's got, of course, a Slan. I don't remember everything he had. I'm pretty sure he had a scroll. I know for a fact that he had... I take that back. I don't know if he had a scroll or not. He had the thing where he channels 3 dice, and he channels on a 5-up, which gave him a pretty decent magic phase. Plus, of course, he's Slan, and with the unit of Temple Guard, so they're, of course, stubborn as long as he's with them. And he brought high magic. So there's Stegadon behind him. There's unit of Source Warriors. There's a character in there. I don't remember this guy's kit. I just he didn't really worry me too much. I'm not sure what his role was in the army, and he could be decent in combat. And my Beastman just didn't care about it. Got a Salamander, Stegadon. He's got those guys on top with freaking 4d6 shots every turn, and then he's got 2 units of more skinks with blowpipes. So I have one horde of I want to say wild horns. Oh my god, I'm converting over to ninth of gore. Sorry about that. One horde of gore it's in ambush. Now I'm putting this picture back here because I want you to see an overview of my side of the table. There's a big building there on the right, and on the left is a forest. And when I have that dragon ogre model, that's what I use for Razor Gores. When he touched the forest, we rolled to see what it actually was. And it's the stupid thing that if you're in it, if you move through it at all, you have to take a dangerous terrain test. I think it's like poisoned or something like that. So that's really rough. So I can't have a horde of my units going through there unless I want to lose 1/6 of them every time I move in any way. So that poses some challenges for deployment. So what I thought I would do is put my Battle Standard Bearer and a horde on the very far right, put my Beast Lord with a horde of Bestigor on the far left, and put a bunker with my mage in it in the middle. So, wise or not, that's kind of what I was going for there. So here on the far right, I've got Harpies with a Razor Gore behind them, a unit of Gore, extra hand weapons. They're in bus formation only because of the table restrictions. I mean, I want to get them into a horde as soon as I can. And they've got the Beast Banner, so these guys are strength 4 with an extra attack each. In the building, I've got 5 of the Ungor Raiders. I don't have a huge purpose for them. I think I have another unit of Ungor Raiders that I wanted to ambush, so I had to have 2 so that one of them could ambush. I've got 2 of the Chariots. I've got my bunker there with my level 4. He is rocking Lore of Beasts. I've got, of course, that Razor Gore in the forest, touching the forest. Then I've got my Bestigor, Standard of Discipline, and the Beast Lord. He's got the 1-up rerollable armor saves that give him an extra attack. And then, in all honesty, I forgot. Bear with me a second. Bear with me. I think I gave him the Stubborn Crown. So, yeah. So, yeah, so I go first, and I didn't take a separate picture of it. I just move up. Nothing really happens with magic. I don't really have any shooting. And then this is showing a picture of the Lizardman turn 1. So both of us have moved at this point. Yeah, so you can see I've taken the Ungor raiders out of the building. I just want to have them up there to chaff some stuff up, possibly if I can. Um, yeah, otherwise it looks like that. So then during his shooting phase, or during his magic phase, I think he gets some kind of magic missile off on them and kills them all. And then I have to do panic tests all the way around. And the chariot that was on, see, I had the BSB on the right and my general on the left. And when you look at their 12-inch bubbles, they actually, these units in the middle were the only ones that had great leadership and a reroll. Well, that chariot, despite being leadership 10 rerollable, failed its panic, and then it had to run away from the nearest enemy unit and ran like you can see it. So, not the end of the world, but a little bit frustrating. Then we go to the next spell, the magic phase, and he gets Fiery Convocation off, Irresistible Force, and takes this horde of gore and just cuts it right in half. Hello, 8th edition. How I've missed you. Yeah, so he killed some Temple Guard in his miscast. And then we go to shooting, and some of these blowpipe skinks kill a few harpies. They're on leadership, I think 6 with the reroll, and they fail it and run away. And then the other ones open up on my Razorgore and of course kill it. And then my Razorgore over here, he opens up and kills it. So the Lizardmen definitely have me outranged. One thing I like about my position over here, though, is if you look at my Bestigore, I can charge his skinks, and if I hit them, I can overrun, and I'd be right in the flank of his Stegadon, and that would be fantastic. We would fight the Stegadon on my opponent's turn. After I kill it, which I think I certainly would, I could reform and just be right in his business. I really like where I'm at over here. If he were to flee my charge, I could redirect into the Stegadon, and it wouldn't be as good, but I would still be pretty happy with that. So we go to Beastman turn. If you look at the lower right, it's wrong. It says Beastman turn 1. It's actually Beastman turn 2. Overall, the board looks like this. The chariot that fled decided he just wanted nothing to do with this game. He failed a 10-up rerollable. Now he just failed a leadership 7 test, ran off the table. This is very frustrating. So I charge these guys. He does a stand and shoot. He does whatever. And then I fail it. And I don't know what I needed, but they have movement 5. They did not need much to get to those guys. And they failed it. Which is really, it just really hurts. Because I think my opponent had made a movement mistake there. He has me totally outranged. This is what I needed. I can tell you my ambushing unit did not come on. Yeah, just overall, it really hurting. On my right, I don't really know what to do. The only thing I can do, I was kind of hoping I had the Harpies and the Razorgore over on my right to charge the Skinks and then just to redirect his cavalry. Well, luckily his cavalry is still kind of back because the Skinks are back, and so that's good. But otherwise, those two small units on the right, I just don't know if they can handle anything that they're facing. They can't handle the cavalry with the hero. They can't handle the Temple Guard. They can't handle the Eosaurus warriors. I don't know what good they are. Anyway, so we go to Lizardman turn 2. And yeah, overall it looks like that. So here on the right, he actually charged his Temple Guard into the chariot. And I was actually pretty excited about that. I thought that he would win. And I would really need to pass my panic test. But again, the unit in the middle is 10 rerollable. The one on the right is an 8 rerollable. If he killed the chariot, he could overrun into my unit on the left, and I think it'd be a fatal mistake, so I could countercharge into his flank with my BSB's unit. And even if he didn't, I can have an easy charge with both of those units, and I think I wipe out his Temple Guard. I swing before he does. I have so many hits. I think I just take him down. And he failed his charge. I'm like, darn it. Stop this. I can't. Darn it. Yeah, I need to get in combat, and both of us are failing his critical charges. So we go to the magic phase, and he gets Walk Between Worlds, and he moves the Source Warrior unit up. And I see what he was thinking with this. He has me redirected on the left. I can't charge my Bestigore into their flank, and now they're all up in my business. But what I saw was that I've got my general, he's in the front right corner of my Bestigore. He's got a 1-up rerollable armor save, and he's stubborn. He can charge out of the unit, charge the flank of those guys, and he'll just chop them up. And really what I would love for them to do is reform and face me, and then just get all those attacks on me, and my guy's going to have a 1-up rerollable armor save, giving all extra attacks. I think he'll be killing 6 of these guys a turn. He'll hold them in place plenty long enough for my Bestigor to mop up whatever's on the left, and then eventually come in and deliver the coup de grace. So, yeah, actually, I let that spell through and was very happy with it. But of course, then he just 6 dice his Fiery Convocation, and my bunker gets absolutely destroyed. Yeah. So over here he shoots at me and kills a few Bestigor. I'm not really worried about it. We go to Beastmen turn 3. And both of my units on the right just back up. I take my chariot, I charge his skinks on the right. And yeah, I think what's going to happen there is I don't know what else I can do with my chariot except just overrun into his cavalry. He'll kill me, certainly, but that means on his turn he can't move. And otherwise he can charge my BSB's unit. I've taken my BSB out of the rightmost unit and put it in with my spellcaster in the middle. So the unit on the right I'm not too worried about. One option would be just to not overrun into the cavalry and just flee any charges on the right. But I still like the idea of killing his Temple Guard. My Ungor Raiders come in on the right, and I just put them where you see them so that if the chariot beats those skinks and they flee and get away, if they hit the Ungor Raiders, they just bounce right off the table. And here on the left, these guys decide to show up, and all the way on the left. I don't love the position, but I can deal with it. And after combat, yeah, those guys did a couple wounds to my chariot. So he's got 1 wound left. Really, all I can hope for here is if I could kill 1 or 2 of these guys with impact hits, it actually won't make a big difference. But that's all I've got anyway. And I think this guy got his points back. I can make myself feel better about that. In terms of contributing to winning the game, I'm not sure he's doing a whole lot. Yeah, charge my general into the flank of his unit over here. And I think we got a challenge between his character and my lord, and I slapped him silly, I think. And they reformed to face me and actually really liking this. Now, what my opponent's looking at is he's got that Stegadon up top that he's going to charge the flank of my general. Had I thought about it, probably what I would have done is done my own reform and tried to scoot down to the right a little bit. I think at this point there's not a whole lot I could do about that. He was just going to make it in. And, he's strength 6, so he comes in and does impact hits. That's the biggest thing I'm worried about. I'll have a 4-up rerollable armor save. So I've got 3 wounds. I think I'll survive that. But I probably need to kill that Stegadon quickly because his strength 6 attacks are going to pose the biggest threat to me. So we go to Lizardman turn 3. His Ancient Stegadon, I think it's I don't know if it's Ancient or regular. I just don't know. Charges flank of my Beast Lord. Yeah, he can't move his cavalry on the right. He's tied up with my chariot. His Temple Guard just move on up a little bit. They're not worried about anything. Yeah, there's that. So he comes in. Magic Phase actually didn't do a whole lot this turn. He comes in. He does 3 hits, 3 wounds with his impact hits, and I've got a 4-up rerollable. And even with that, 2 of them go through. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's making me nervous because I only have 1 wound remaining. And then my opponent says my impact hits do D3 wounds each. Oh, shoot. So that didn't work. Okay. That's where knowing the other army books would have helped. I don't know what I would have changed there. I kind of had to hold up that Source War unit, or else he was going to mop up everything else on the table. So I think this is just a chance I needed to take, and it didn't work out. Over here, these guys, I kill 1 of them, so take that, and then my chariot dies. And we go to Beastman turn 4. So I take both of my Gore units. It looks like one big horde. It's not. It's 2 units. The one on the right, or the one on the left, has the +1 strength banner in it. Although I think at this point I forgot about that. But anyway, we charge his Temple Guard. I really need to kill them and overrun. If they hold me up, I'm going to get charged in the flank with my with those Saurus warriors, and of course in the right we'll get charged by the cavalry unit. So I just would really like to kill these guys quickly. Bestigor charge the Stegadon. I think I'll kill him. Yeah, there's the 2 units. We get the magic phase, and we get the transformation of Kazan spell. And I am a mountain chimera that just looks a little bit like a Gorgon. And yeah, now it's kind of funny because what I'm thinking is I'm just going to just shred these Temple Guard. Then I go to roll and I roll abysmally. It just does. It's awful, awful, awful. The only good news is by the time we're done, we still kill them all, and the only guy left is the Slann, who is the general and the BSB, so he dies automatically. I still overrun trying to get out of the way of everything, and it looks like that. So the only difference me fluffing my attacks did was that it cost me a lot of gore in the rightmost unit, because I should have killed a lot more guys before the end. You know, the Mountain Chimera should have killed a lot more, and that would have saved attacks back at me. But oh well. So we didn't go far enough to get out of line of sight of the Saurus warriors. They're only going to be able to clip. I think I can make way with the Mountain Chimera. I'm not sure. If I can, he can clip all he wants. I'll bring that guy over there and we'll go to town. Of course, in his magic phase, he doesn't have the Slann anymore, but he still can dispel the transformation of Kadon thing. And over here, yeah, we kill the Steg. I don't know if we killed it outright or just beat it in combat and then ran it down. And we overrun into these guys. If you look in the top, I didn't even try charging with my Gore unit because I feared that he would flee and they would just get a failed charge and be out in the middle of nowhere. So I just marched up because I need those guys closer to the action. So we go to, this says Beastman turn 4. That is not right. This is Lizardman turn whatever it is, turn 4 I think. So his cavalry charges my unit on the right and I flee. And then they redirect, or they try to redirect, and they either fail their charge or they fail the redirect test. So, yeah, that unit's okay. Let's get a close-up. It's okay unless his Saurus warriors break the other unit, and if that happens, he's going to easily overrun and get points for that unit that fled already. I just didn't know what else to do, because if his cavalry hit him, they would have easily won and then overrun into the other flank of this unit with my mage, and that wasn't going to be good at all. Luckily, they had a failed charge. And he countercharges the salamander. I'm not really worried about it. I think we're just going to mop all that stuff up. And we go to the magic phase, and yeah, he dispels it. Oh, with that thing up, I stood a chance. Without it, yeah, there is no chance, I don't think. And of course, the Stegadon charged in as well. We did do some mopping up over here on the left, and on the right, my opponent did some mopping up. And yeah, so after he runs me down, it looks like that. And then I reform and he reform in the final turn, and the game ends. It was funny because it was a real fun game. Lizardman pulled out the win by I don't know how much. I mean, the big thing for me is he got all my characters. He got my level 4, he got my Beast Lord, he got my BSB, so that's a ton of points. He got a small bunker unit and a big horde, and he got all my chaff, so he just killed a bunch of stuff. But I also killed a fair amount of his stuff too, so he won. I want to say it was like 800 points. It was a decent little victory there. I don't miss the part of 8th edition where magic can be just so devastating. He cut my one horde absolutely in half just with one magic spell, and then he takes another unit and cuts it more in half. I mean, just slapping me around that way. But you know what? That was 8th. It was still a fun game, and really bummed that he's taking a break from the hobby. But you never know; he might come back. I talked to him about 9th, and maybe he'll come to that. But anyway, that's it here. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.